In this series of videos, I set out to build a kit car. I started out with this unfinished project. It is a Robin Hood 2B kit car built using a 1988 Ford Sierra donor car with a 2-litre Pinto engine. This car uses a factory provided 38mm diameter round tube that has been bent and welded to form the chassis. This kit was picked up in May 2001 from the factory. The project was started but not completed by the original owner. It was kept by the family and stored until I brought the kit in September 2019. I hired a low-loader truck to transport it home, along with a van for the additional parts. This project will be a mixture of restoration, fabrication and construction of the kit. The instructions provided are very limited, consisting of some VHS tapes containing footage filmed from the factory with information on some of the key parts of the process. The subframe, engine and drive components are from the donor car. Dashboard and interior needs to be fabricated. There is no wiring in the car yet, but a new wiring loom is provided from the factory. For easier access, I removed the windscreen and the bonnet, and made a rack to hang it from the garage roof. The parts not fitted to the car end up taking a fair amount of space. I decided to start with something easy and replace the ignition barrel, allowing one bent key to be replaced by 2 new keys. The old ignition barrel is easy to remove. In the run position, push the release button and pull it out. The new one lines up and pushes in until it clicks into place. The body panels are polished stainless steel, shown here with the white plastic covering to protect the surface during the build. The panels behind the front wheels needed to be fabricated, so the suspension and components around it need to be removed first. While the suspension is removed, it will be painted along with the frame of the car. I removed the radiator to get a better view of the engine bay. It is clear that there are unpainted brackets and the paint on the frame is not in good condition. The kit was missing the cycle wing brackets, so new replacements were purchased. The original bracket would have been constructed from 3 individual pieces each. The new parts don't require construction, as they are already made to the correct shape, so these new parts should be easier to fit. After tidying up the welds, I spread some rust inhibitor on some surface rust, and then painted them with some direct to metal paint. I also tested some direct to metal paint on one of the brackets. It is easily applied with a brush and has a good finish, and can be applied over existing paint. I was happy with the results and decided to use this paint for the rest of the project. This is the initial stages of making the new body panel. It was a process of trial fitting, marking where to remove metal, and then cutting it out. I used the end of the steering rack in the middle of the existing hole in the panel as a guide to the position of where the panel needs to be. Then it was a case of checking that bolts would fit and that the bonnet would close over the top. The main panel had to be trimmed where it meets the edge of the new panel. The bonnet was fitted to ensure that it fitted correctly. I removed the protective coating from the panel as it would be more difficult after the suspension was fitted, and also because I was curious to how the finish was going to look. I wanted to remove the side panel so that I could check the frame and add new paint. This process started with removing the rear wheel arch. The panels and the arches are held on with rivets. It is an easy and quick process to drill these out. Once the panel was removed, the frame looked in good condition and would only need a light rub down and a fresh layer of paint.
It shows that it is worth taking the effort to do such things as take the panel off and paint the frame. As you can see here, the sheet metal that forms the floor wraps around the frame, and under this section there is no paint. This was cleaned and painted before continuing.
Once the paint was dry, the side of the panel was fitted back to the frame. I don't know what size rivet was used previously, so the ones I brought turned out to be slightly oversized. Each hole was opened out with a drill, so the new rivets could be used.
So you do full pumps on this, is it?
No, it doesn't matter. But I just wondered if you didn't pump enough and pull it down, whether or not we would put longer ones in.
That's one full pump.
Okay, if it don't snap quick. I said that was alright, wouldn't you?
The sharp edges of the panel were covered using push-on edging. This is a flexible rubber that surrounds a row of metal push clips. It pushed on fairly easily and is then cut to length between the metal clips. So through there?
Yeah.
And then we can see, yeah, that's a nice cut.
Yeah. So you reckon you want the join at the base?
Yeah, I reckon so. Because it'll be hidden underneath the arm then, won't it? And we're not gluing this on, are we? Or?
No, I don't think it needs gluing. To be honest.
Just getting it on tight all the way around.
Yeah, but see how that pushes out. I wonder with a little tap with a hammer.
The completed panel is seen fitted here with the first of the suspension components. These were stripped down to metal and freshly painted. Thanks for watching.